The IRS gave us the biggest okie doke that I've ever seen. A quick take and snatch back. You remember when I said, hey, the IRS is going to do the heavy lifting for you. If you filed unemployment on your return before Biden changed the law on March 11th, the IRS will amend the return for you in May and give you that money that you're due. And that made me so happy. I was just ecstatic. I recorded a video, you can see right here, where I was saying, you don't have to do anything. The IRS will take care of it for you. Their math error program is the best. I was a cheerleader for them because I was so happy, because I was selfish. I didn't want to do it myself because I know it's going to take a long time. And I thought about all the things that has to be done. You have to worry about earned income credit, child tax credit. You have to worry about all these different moving parts. If the IRS computer could do it for you, so be it. I was happy. Look at me. Look at that smile I had. I was recording in the dark, like I was part of some type of reality show, because I was so happy. I recorded it as soon as I figured out when I came home late at night. But the sad news is the IRS has backtracked on their word, and this is what the video is about. Let's jump into it.
Be strong.
In the American Rescue Plan signed by Joe Biden on March 11th, they excluded the first 10,200 of unemployment, which is very good. I applaud them to doing that. That was a great move. And that first 10,200, if you made less than 150,000, was excluded from your gross income. If you were married, you get both of you get 10,200 if you both had unemployment. If you're single, you get the 10,200. But the problem was, they made this law right in the smack of the middle of tax season. So a lot of people who filed in January and February with the unemployment on their return were stuck holding the bag like, what the? So what the IRS had to do is they had to figure out a way what's to go on, because people were nervous. I was getting calls like, Carlos, you got to amend my return right now. I need that more money. I need a 10,000. I was like, first, it's not 10,200 you'll get when you amend. You will get whatever the difference is. It's not just the 10,200. And then second, I said, don't worry, the IRS will take care of that, which they came out and said, we'll take care of it. But in one of the videos that I made, I said something, and I should have followed my own advice. And I said this: goes to the tax first, and then it's refunded to you. You're going to get a refund of $466. That's better than owing $758. You just saved $1,690. And that's just one example. There's so many different calculations, because we can look at, hey, if you get earned income credit, what if you have child tax credit? What if you have educational credit? What if you want to qualify for something else? It always keeps on changing. So this is going to be a game changer, but it's going to be a nightmare. And that's a real key word. There's so many moving parts. If we amend it and you get more child tax credit, we have to make sure child tax credit is correct. If we amend it, if you get earned income credit, we have to make sure your earned income credit is correct. If we amend it and you get the savers credit, we have to make sure the savers credit is correct. And that is the problem that the IRS is seeing. So the IRS has announced that, hey, if we take the 10,200 exclusion on your return and we realize you qualify for more credits, unfortunately, you have to file the amended return. The reason why this is really, really a problem, and I'll tell you right now, the IRS has a law called let's call it the burden of proof. But the burden of proof is on you, the taxpayer. The famous lawyer Johnny Cochran used to say, or said, if the glove don't fit, you must acquit. And basically he shifted the burden of proof. The burden of proof is on you. So if you have to amend your return for, let's say, earned income credit or the child tax credit, you have to provide paperwork of the birth certificate of the child to prove that the child is your child. You have to prove that the child lived with you for 6 months or more within 2020. You also have to prove that you put more than 50% of the upkeep of the house where you're living. So a copy of your lease, or a copy of your utility bills and the lease, or a copy of your mortgage statement or property taxes. So as you can see, the due diligence on you, the tax preparer, or you, the taxpayer, has risen. The cost to get it has risen.
And some people can get back almost $1,200, $3,000 by doing this amended return. So you're going to kind of want to do it. But the biggest issue is the burden of proof is on you, the taxpayer, with the IRS. The IRS doesn't have to prove anything. You have to prove it to them when you file your amended return. So that's going to be one of the hardest issues that we're going to see in this, period. And that's going to make it very hard for a lot of individuals because you just don't know what it is. You don't know if I should do it or not. I mean, the simple rule is if you have a child, and if you used to qualify for earning credit, or if you qualify for earning credit on your tax return already, you're going to have to file that amended return yourself. The problem that really exists is that they're going to have to pay more money to do it. You're going to have to come to a tax preparer to pay more money to do it, and you may have to paper mail it. The silver lining in all this is that if you file with the same person that filed your return, they have the ability, if they have the correct tax software, to file the amended return electronically. I know, I'm a geek. I'm a tax geek. That makes me smile because I know it'll move through the system faster. And if you look at this video where I talked about why is my refund so delayed, one of the biggest issues is paper. Paper in the IRS is like kryptonite. It will slow them down. They cannot be a Superman with it. They have a limited amount of staff. They have a limited amount of people. And they're gearing up for the child tax credit program that's hopping out in July. They're not going to get to this paper return first. And it's first in, first out. Meaning that the first document that comes in the IRS comes out. It's just a simple math with them. So they're still working on 2019. And if you paper mail the amended return, Jesus Christ, fam. You ain't seeing that in years. Years. All right. So the question is what you could do. If you can go back to the same accountant that filed your return, they can do an amended return. But then another problem exists. Some accountants, they close up shop. They open up, tax season, close down. Can't even find them. You call them on the phone. You don't know where they're at. I mean, fortunately, our clients, we're open all year round, 365 days a year, because we're always working on taxes. That's all we do. But some accountants close down. And even some of the big boxes, the H&R Blocks, the Jackson Hewitt, the Liberty Tax, the Jumpin' Jack taxes, some of them close down. So you have to get in contact with people that may not even be around. So that leads to one problem. And most of the people who this is going to affect, and not to sound crazy, but it's going to affect the Black and brown community the most because they are the ones that would have more of that earning credit and in that child tax credit. And it's going to affect low income communities too. They're going to be hard because those places that they go to file usually close down. And they may not have the ability to do the electronic filing. So this is sad news that's coming out the IRS today. It is April 29th, 2021, and the IRS is going to release a news release maybe in the next couple of days. I just got the news a little earlier from my inside source because you know I know everybody in the IRS, right? And this is no shade to the IRS at all. Those workers that are there, those government workers that are IRS or that are there right now, they do hell of a job. I know some of them. I speak to some of them almost every day. I speak to a lot of agents every day, and they work hard. They're humans just like us. It's just they work with the government. And the IRS is not the problem. The government's not funding the IRS the much as they can. They're talking about giving them billions of dollars, and they're going to use that money to help with the customer service and help with audits. And they need it, and they have to help with staff and making sure their whole structure has to be burnt down and rebuilt. I thank you so much for listening to this video. This is Carlos Fraser from Taxko Tips, and have a great day. Why was I so happy to record in the dark? Like a weird old man. I don't know. I gotta think about this for a second. The IRS gave us the okie doke, the okie doke. The IRS gave us the okie doke. The IRS will recompute the return, and if they realize that the credits were moving as fast as the words that are coming out of my mouth, and why am I talking so fast? I got this. Yo, I gotta go do work. I get crazy when this red light's on. Be strong.